So it's been done. Niantic have basically killed their game, which is fantastic. But we're out tonight doing our Spotlight Hour to get ourselves a shiny because we desperately need this shiny because the years and years and years and years and years have been playing this game, and this shiny being available, we still do not. Well, are you kidding me? The very first click of the night. Oh my god, are you absolutely joking me? I cannot believe that. I didn't even get the sentence out. Out of all these years of hunting this shiny, I do not have one. And the very first click of Spotlight Hour, we get the shiny. That is just, I don't know what to say to that. That is insane luck. Okay, well, we've got our shiny for tonight, guys. First click. Hey guys, welcome in. Sorry. Of course. It's these bloody, for some reason, I get bloody phone calls and it messes with my internet for some reason. But we got ourselves a shiny on the very first click of the day. So welcome into the stream, guys. I'm a bit spewy that stuffed up when it did. These bloody telemarketer calls and robot calls, because that's what it would have been. And it stuffed up my... So I can't even make a short out of that now because of the... Oh, that makes me dirty. Anyway, I'm very happy because we got ourselves a shiny. It bloody knew. All right, we're going to have to check to see how many that actually took me to finally get that shiny. All right, we're 2 minutes in, guys. See ya. Wrapping up the stream now. How you doing, Emma? How you doing, James? Hey, Becky. Hey, Steph. Negan. Diana, welcome in. Dalsandu, Jesse. How you doing, guys? Yeah, sorry that the chat was a bit dicky. Yeah, anyway, let's check to see how many that actually took me to finally get. Hey, David, how you going? 989 checks. Nearly 1,000 checks to finally get this shiny Shellder. So I do have one already, like, that I haven't caught myself, that Zoe traded to me. But now we actually finally have one. So, my god, can we get one from a second click? No, unfortunately, no second click. And why did that crash? Sorry, guys, my chat just full crashed on me. Give me a second. I gotta bring it back up. Nothing is going right to start this stream off, even though we got the shiny. I shouldn't say nothing is going right, because, I mean, we got the shiny, but, like, everything else, the stream, like, stopped for a second. My chat has crashed on my other phone. Oh my god. Anyway, now that we've got ourselves a shiny, we can actually concentrate on maybe doing some battles and stuff with you guys. I mean, I can still do shiny checks, but how you doing, Mikey? Welcome in. Welcome in. If you missed it, guys, we got a shiny from our very first click of the night. So that was just, I don't know how to take that. Like, oh my god, what is going on? My bloody chat just crashed again. This is a little bit frustrating. Chat, what are you doing? Why do you keep crashing on me? Can you not, please? Because I'm, like, trying to... Hopefully that doesn't keep happening during the stream, otherwise that's going to be a bit of a pain. You saw? Nice. Also, the shiny was incredibly quick. I know, like, that's only happened to me one other time during a Spotlight Hour, where basically the first click has scored me the shiny. So, yeah. I don't know. We've still got an hour to go. Let's see if we can get ourselves a shiny before we finish. That'd be great. But for now, let's start walking. You're bad. Nah, all good, dude. All good. You're not crushing my chat. Jimmy needs to be a duck. Join the crew. Why? Why do I need to be a duck? That's like the worst Donald Duck impression ever, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, grab my charger. Not that I think I'm going to need it, but just in case. Got my keys. Why a duck? That's what I'm asking. Like, why a duck? Why is everybody into ducks all of a sudden? I mean, ducks are pretty cool. They're ducks, but duck is cool. Ducks are cute and you love them, but why? Exactly. It's just like, why? Why the duckies? Duckies. Honestly, there's no wind. I don't think I really need a hat, so let's not worry about a hat tonight. Let's start walking and see if we can get more shiny boys or girls. So now I can actually finally do a if I check on my Shelders, we do have... Oop, not Shellder. So yeah, we have this one here as well that created to me by Zoe. That one is 1 star. And this one is no stars. So I guess we'll trade this one that Zoe traded to me. See, obtained in a trade from Zoe 2 Dots. Thank you, Zoe. Yeah, we'll evolve this one at the end of the stream. Give ourselves something to do. How you doing, Jern? You missed it, dude. We got our shiny from the very first click of the stream. So welcome in anybody that missed the shiny. We got it. We got our shiny. But for those that don't know, tonight is also double transfer candy. So if you've got yourselves a bunch of stuff that you would like to transfer, tonight is the night to do it. Try and get yourselves extra candies. So that's something else that we can probably do at some point, go through. Zelino, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome in. It's been a while. How you doing? Yay, Duck Gang. Duck Gang hype. You will find a duck. Fair enough. I actually got a ducklet from one of my Team Rocket grunts the other night. Good old ducklets. Why are these things being so difficult at the moment? Like, everyone is taking multiple balls to get. Hang on, Tef, I'll jump back out into the screen. Just let me double check these. Shiny. Alright, let's do a battle. So it's looking like it is a Totodile nest down here at the moment as well. You just caught a ducklet. So yeah, how many shiny costume Pokemon one get? You mean during the Easter event? I got none, because honestly, I haven't really been playing the game much over the last week since Niantic has made the changes to the raids, like the raid passes and stuff like that. I just haven't been motivated to go out and play the game. I didn't do any of the Reggie Elec raids on the weekend. One, because it was Easter, and two, there's no community around me, sort of a thing. Like, I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could have tried to organise one of the ones with our local group, but there was one person that posted up for the whole day that was like, is anybody keen to do any raids? And nobody replied to it, so I was just like, there's probably not much point, sort of thing. Niantic's kind of killed the game, to be honest. Yeah, honestly, if you go into Twitter, the vast majority of people are just like, I'm sort of done with the game. And just the simple fact that Niantic haven't said anything back to us is probably the most damning thing. Just the fact that they haven't acknowledged the community in any way, shape or form, I think is the main thing that has made people just not want to really do anything with the game anymore, because they're sick of it. They're just like, they're sick of having this sort of outcome when it comes to Niantic and them trying to just communicate. Well, their lack of communication, to be honest. All right, sorry it's taking me so long to choose a team here. That'll do. Duck Sandy became a duck. Everybody with their duck gang. You got 7 shinies, 3 costumes. I did end up getting a shiny. I got a shiny Whismur the other day on my way down to do raid hour, but that was the only shiny. I mean, I said Sheldy. It was a Sheldy shiny. Be one with the duck. Duckosaurus. You got a shiny event Pikachu, a Marill, a Chinchou, all new ones, nothing out of the 60 plus eggs that you hatch. Yeah, see, I didn't bother hatching any eggs for the whole event. One, I'm not an egg hatching person. Like, eggs have always been a way of obtaining shinies that I haven't really been interested in. You wish you got a chance. I've got a Chansey from the last time that we had this event, sort of thing. However, ducks can be your next shiny hunt. Our next shiny hunt in this is going to be Tangler, isn't it? Is it Tangler or Trapinch? It's one or the other. Trapinch. Yay! Awesome. Everyone's favorite Pokemon. I don't know why they give us the stuff that we've already had in Com Days as Spotlight Hour Pokemon. I mean, I understand that not everybody's done it and not everybody has the shiny, but it would still be nice if, you know, they just didn't worry, because more than likely we're going to get Trapinch in a redo Com Day, one of the Com Day classics. Cheater! You chose your team after it. No, GG's. Flygon, underrated. It doesn't really have a place in Pokemon Go, though. Like, in general, like, it's a good Pokemon, but there's too many other dragon types and flying types which outrank it in Pokemon Go, so it's not really that useful. GG's. Cheater. Mewtwo Spotlight Hour. Yeah, nah, I don't think we're ever going to see legendaries in Spotlight Hours, just quietly. Just let me shiny check. Even though I've already got one. I'm missing all these potential shinies. You didn't call me a cheater when... Because I can't see your team when you're choosing. So how could I cheat? You guys can see the team that I choose. So every time I lose, it's just, yep, you chose. You cheated. Because you counted me perfectly with, like, everything that I chose. So how can I not say that? Nah, GG's. Do I watch anime? Yeah. Yeah, I've actually almost finished JoJo, like the last season of JoJo. I've been watching that over the last week. I got like 5-6 episodes left of the season. And then there's a couple other things that I've got on my list of stuff that I want to watch. They've just done a remake of the Akira movie as well, which is going to be in like 4K and have CGI and stuff like that in it. So it's like, ooh, that could be good. Since Akira was essentially the very first anime movie that I ever saw back when I was like 6, maybe 7 years old, sort of thing. Alright, what are we in here? You're looking forward to later, you might give it a go. For what, sorry, Diana? This Spotlight Hour, or... Who's my favourite JoJo? I mean, they've all got their... I mean, it's probably... what's his name? Not Jojiro. Just Joestar. Did my phone just die on me or no? Yeah, I mean, it's probably a toss-up between Joestar and Jolene. All of them are Joestar. Yeah, I know. All right. I just can't remember all their names off the top of my head. The dude with the hat. Jojo. You know, that Jojo. No, I've seen all of them, dude. It's just, it's been a while since I've watched the other series. It's probably been like 12 months since I watched the original, like 4 series or some shit. Alright, what are we going with? Sorry, man. Jotaro. That's the one. Jotaro. I was like, I know the name, I just can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah, Jotaro. That'll do. You dropped us up? Thank you, Archer. Much appreciated. And welcome to the stream. How you doing, dude? Who's my favorite Pokemon? Charizard. I'm a Gen 1er. So Charizard and it's my favorite Pokemon and my favorite shiny. That was a weird switch out. You should have stayed with the flying water type because honestly, that just counts as Venusaur to a T. That's Venusaur all over. You've watched every anime? Like every anime ever? Or every JoJo series? Yeah, it depends on how you split it up because each series has, 35 episodes or so, something, but they're split up into like 2 or 3 series as well. So you could say that there has like 9 or 10 series, or you could say it's got like 5. On Netflix, it says that it's only got 5 series, so I've almost finished with the 5th series. Name it, you've probably watched it. Elf Laden, Gans. Trying to think of other obscure Gunslinger Girl. What are some other obscure ones? What's the plan for tomorrow night? I'm gonna host raids for you guys, but I don't know about actually doing raids myself. I'll see how I go. I might do a raid or 2, but given that I've already got the shiny for it, I'm more than likely just host the raids for you guys instead of actually doing them myself. Princess Tutu. I've never seen that one. Afro Samurai, of course I've seen Afro Samurai. That's actually really good. I've got that at home. I've got the movies for it as well. It's actually a really good anime. And the music is done by one of my favorite producers, The RZA, as well. It's got good music. It's got great characters. Yeah, that sort of it falls into line with some of my favorite animes. You got like Afro Samurai. If you guys are seeing Rurouni Kenshin, which is Samurai X in English sort of thing, that's actually really good. And surprisingly enough, it has some live action movies for it as well that are probably some of the best live action adaptations of anime movies done. Like, they're actually really good movies, which is unusual when it comes to live action anime stuff. When you look at basically any other live action anime redo, and that they're not that good. Hey Evolution, how you doing? And Molly, how you doing? Wolf's Rain, I haven't seen that. Your favorite top 3 are Devilman Crybaby. I've been meaning to watch that. That's on Netflix. I haven't seen it, watched it yet, but I've heard other people say that it's good, so I've been meaning to watch it. Blue Lock and Naruto. I haven't heard of Blue Lock. My all-time favorite anime is Evangelion, like Neon Genesis. It's a classic, and it's so good. I very much enjoy that, and like Ghost in the Shell. Like a lot of the atypical animes, but they're classics for a reason. Watch Parasite. I've seen Parasite. Yeah, Parasite I watched last year sometime. That's a good one. I did enjoy that Parasite. And I mean, there's stuff like Death Note and all that sort of stuff as well, which I've watched, which, like I said, all the typical atypical classics, like I said, they're that way for a reason. Like they're typical. Evangelion is peak, yeah. It's just got a great story to it. The characters are great. It's dark, it's gritty. It's sort of like Neo-Japan, like Neon Japan. So it's, yeah, sort of half cyberpunk, half futuristic, like Neon Japan stuff.
Have I seen... Yes, I haven't seen it, but I know in Australia, but in English it's called like Panzer Girls or something like that, yeah? I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it. Misato, best girl? Yeah. Gotta love Major Kusanagi. She's my favorite. She's like my original waifu. Because like the first time I watched Neon Genesis was back when I was in like year 7. So I would have been like 12, 13 years old. And yeah, that was my original. You dropped Sword Art. You couldn't be bothered finishing it. If you have a lot of dust to max out Mons... Oh, sorry. Why you're not grinding Stardust, Jimmy? Because I've already got like 17 million Stardust. I got plenty of Stardust. I'm gonna win! I'm not gonna... GG's. It's like I still had a shield, I just didn't have the health. I'm like half concentrating on the chat as well. And you guys know that Ultra League is not my league. So I don't have stuff set up for Ultra League. Alright, let's do some more checks. For those of that missed it, I got my shiny off my first click of the night. So if you're wondering why I'm not clicking on as many, that is why. Maximons. Yeah. I could. But I'd actually have to have interest in the game still to do that sort of stuff. I was like, it's not that I don't have interest, but with Niantic just ignoring us and stuff like that, it's like, it just makes me not motivated to play the game, so... Big advice, max your mons before the game goes off. But what would be the point of that? Like maxing Pokemon for no reason. Unless you mean transfer them over into like Pokemon Home beforehand and stuff. I don't think it's going to go off anytime soon, but... You were bored, what, with the game or watching anime? Catch them, it's 1k dust. It's just frustrating. I'm doing battles with you guys and they're being a pain in the ass to catch. Don't tell me what to do. See, this is what I mean. They're just being a pain in the ass to catch. You've been doing PvP, you got good. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. See, I have 17.5 million Stardust, so it's not like I'm low on Stardust. Wish my chat keeps switching off on me. Yeah, but the main fun we have is maxing mons and championships. Out 3 of my Pokemon to level 50 to up to the next level. It's like one of the tasks that I need to do. I'll get to it when I get to it. How you doing, Omega? Welcome in. Long time no talk. Back on YouTube. Wait, am I back on YouTube? I've been on YouTube forever, but I mean, you're back on YouTube, I'm guessing you're saying. Good to see. Good to see. Welcome back. It's yeah, see, we're talking about legitimate animes, not the naughty animes. Even though there are so many borderline animes these days. If you guys have seen Gantz, there is some scenes in Gantz which sort of borderline on some weird stuff. Especially between, I can't remember what her name is, but there's like a girl in it and a dog. And there's some scenes with them together, which is like, what? Why is this in this series? You got a shiny, the first dude. Let's celebrate by maxing a mon. You really want me to max out a Pokemon, don't you? I don't know which one to do, though. I need, like, XL candies to max out Mons. And XL candies is something that I don't have for a lot of Pokemon that I would like to max out. So it depends on what there is. We'll have a look after. You don't want... Sure you don't, Emma, sure. You got a second shiny one, Molly. Nice. I wonder if they've boosted the shiny odds for this Spotlight Hour, because like I said, I've struggled with this one so much, and then the first click of the stream, I got the shiny, so... I keep stepping in puddles because I'm not watching where I'm going. If you want to watch a hype anime, watch or read the Blue Lock. It's so peak. Alright. I'd have to find it online or something because I'm sort of limited to what I can watch unless it's on Netflix or something like that. I mean, I still haven't watched Attack on Titan, which is one that everyone sort of praises as being a great one. I mean, it's one of those ones that you have to watch. You hope they remain boosted. Like I said, I'm not sure whether they are boosted or not. I'm just guessing maybe they are. Jimmy needs to be a duck, make a crew. I'm happy being me, thank you very much. No duck. No duck for me. You haven't? No. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time to just sit around watching a million different series. Like, because there's so many series, so I have to, like, make a choice of which one I want to watch. Especially for, like, the really long ones. Like I said, I'm almost through JoJo now. I might finish watching that tonight. And then there's actually a couple other supposedly really good series on Netflix. Like the Cyberpunk series is supposed to be really good. It's only a short one. It's only like 8 episodes or something like that. You personally just watch romance? Yeah, see, I'm not big on the whole romance thing. It's not my style. I'm more on the giant robots that are going to destroy cities anime, dude. So that's why Attack on Titan should be like way up my alley sort of thing, but just haven't got around to watching it. Unless there's like an apocalyptic thing in it, I don't want to watch it. No, but saying that, there are some like classic movies, like Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away. Like pretty much anything that's Studio Ghibli is pretty good, but those two movies are the best. Like if you haven't watched them, they are definite must watch sort of things. I just need to turn on a torch so I can see where I'm going. Wholesome, fluffy stuff. Yeah, see, I'm like the complete opposite. I like to see people die really violently in animes. Like skulls getting crushed and heads exploding. And that's why, if you guys haven't seen Elf Laden, that's one of those animes where a chick with psychic powers is full just like running rampage and making people die by having their heads explode and stuff like that. Rent a girlfriend. That sounds very sus. Rent a girlfriend. Isn't that just going to an escort? I don't know what to go with. Probably don't want 2 of them on the same Sus. I know. I'm just like, hang on a second. That's a very sus title. Spy X Family is amazing. I love that now. You're going to read volume 9. The manga, you can't wait for the anime. Yeah, see, I've never watched that myself. I don't know. I've seen stuff for it. I don't think it's the type of anime that I'll be into, just quietly. Yeah, Devilman, like I said, Devilman and Berserker are on thing. Attack on Titan, I think that's on Foxtel. I don't think it's on Netflix. So I'll have to track it down and see. I know that it was on Foxtel for a while, so I'll have to see if it's still on there. I can give it a watch. Wait. Sorry, Negan. What's the suggestion for me to do? You gotta read Berserker. Or Berserk. Yeah, see, I'm not a big reader. Like, I don't really read animes, like, manga. It's just because I don't really read books or anything. Like, I'm not a person that reads. It's like, if I can watch it, I'll watch it. If I have to read it, I'll just lose interest in it. Oh, Rent a Girlfriend. Okay. I thought that's what you might have been alluding to, but... No, she means the other thing. But isn't that what Tinder's for? I should... It'd help if I had money. Not that, you know... I mean, but, you know... money is a necessity for doing stuff. It's not that sus, but the protagonist and... like, what's happening? What's happening? I'm just trying to concentrate on this and battling and like the chat at the same time, so I apologize. Give me a second, I will get back to it. Oh, Muck versus Muck. It's a mukbang. Get it? Haha. Haha. I'm so funny. Oh, this is going to be close. This might just do enough damage. You don't have any shields left, do you? I don't think you do. No. Oh, that was close. I just had the advantage because mine came, like, I had the energy on it to begin with, sort of thing. So I had the energy advantage there. If I didn't have the energy advantage, I probably would have lost that. But GG's, that was a close battle. Okay, it's not sus, but the protagonist and Ruka are the main problem, and also Mami, they suck. If it was only for Shizaru and her adventures, it would be so much better. You should indeed, not Jimmy, if you don't want to pull your hair out and bleach your eyes. Okay. Like the person that needs to watch... that's what you did when you read Berserk. It's so good, but so wrong. Like the person that created it needs to be on a watch list. But isn't that just some anime? I mean, there's some very questionable stuff in anime. Like certain animes, you get like the characters that look like they're like 8-year-old girls and they're doing questionable things. But it's like, no, it's okay because she's really a 200-year-old fairy or something like that. And it's like, yeah, nah, just nah, it still doesn't really fly. It's like that character looks like an 8-year-old girl. She shouldn't be doing things like that. Oh, you got a rare candy? Nice, man. GG's. I got the win, so I'm sort of happy. Rare candy would have been nicer. Welcome back, Diana. Search up Guts backstory. You want to die first in 10 seconds. That's legit 7. Yeah, see, I've heard a lot of mixed stuff about 7 Deadly Sins. It's there's like a couple different series of that on Netflix. And I've heard a lot of people be like, yeah, it's good and you should watch it. But other people have been like, yeah, nah, it's a bit etchy. And yeah, there's stuff like that in it, which doesn't really float my boat. Might have one of earthquakes alarm again soon, but a close one. You had pre-packed the Jimmy Mons Ninetales and Muck. They're good, like Ninetales and Muck. They're a good combo. They complement each other well, sort of thing. They got good coverage, and Muck. The thing about Muck is you have to have double charge move on it and have like Thunder Punch and Dark Pulse or something like that. Just because Thunder Punch, depending on what you're coming up against, it's good to spam it. It just does quick damage. But as soon as I saw your Muck come out as well, I was like, Thunder Punch isn't really going to do anything. That's what the Dark Pulse is for. Because the Dark Pulse will hit, you know, other poison types and stuff like that a lot harder than the electric move will. GPG, how you doing? Welcome in. You're from India? I'm from Australia. How you doing, dude? Danganronpa. I haven't actually seen it, but I've seen stuff for it. It will emotionally ruin you. I think it might actually be on Netflix, that. I can't remember. Haven't played the last game, V3 yet. Danganronpa is not that bad. It's not that bad. Dude, I don't have coordinates to give you because I'm playing legitimately. Should be, like, obvious that it's... I could be just sitting in a dark room somewhere, just every time the screen flashes, you just get, like, flashes of my face, but no. I'm out in the real world. Can't you hear the crunching of underneath my feet? And the traffic next to me. Yeah, I've actually been in like an anime mood lately. That's why I started watching JoJo again, sort of thing, at the start of the last series. Because I started it back from the start of the series because I watched the first 12 episodes of it back when they first released it onto Netflix. But that was the end of the season until they finished doing the rest of it. So I just waited until they had it all out, and then I was like, I'll go back to that. So like I said, I've done that recently. Started it back from the start, watched the first 12 episodes again of that series, and then just went from there. It is if you play for hours and hours until you finish it, only taking breaks to eat, sleep, and shower. Who needs to eat, sleep, and shower? Like, come on. I'm not a hardcore fan of gaming or anything unless you skip those things. I mean, I haven't showered today, but that's because I was doing a workout earlier and I woke up late. So I did my workout and then got ready for the stream, and I was like, I had to cook tea as well, so I just didn't have time. So I'll have a shower after when I get home. The audio and video are actually pre-recorded. Shh! You're not supposed to tell anybody. Just really good at predicting you guys. Yeah. didn't you know that I have ESP? I'm like a psychic. When you're reading the Blue Lock manga, the anime isn't caught up. The Blast Yeet, Carrot, and Brazilian Funk. To hype yourself even more to the point that when you finish reading it, you almost cry. Like a dopamine crash. Well, honestly, it doesn't look like the shinies are boosted. I think I just got incredibly lucky getting one off the first click, and I think Molly just got lucky seeing two of them, because you can get lucky and get multiples from the same, but usually they don't boost the shinies for Spotlight Hour. It's only if the shiny is already boosted. It's not sad, but you miss the hype when you finish reading it. I'm like that with some games and animes and stuff like that. Like, I could have finished watching JoJo like last night or the night before, but I was sort of putting it off because I'm sort of the same. I'm like, oh damn, I'm almost finished it, but then once I'm finished it, then it's finished and I have to wait until they do like another one. Which could be, like another year or two. So it's like, I'll just put off finishing it off for as long as possible. Like I said, I'll probably watch it tonight. I've actually been watching a lot of horror short films on YouTube, like last night and today sort of thing. I watched a couple more today. Just sort of like short 30-minute horror shorts. And then there's actually a couple of movies. Like I watched I was in a Bigfoot mood last night, so I started watching like a bunch of Bigfoot movies on YouTube. I actually found a couple of decent ones. If you guys look up Big Legend, that's actually pretty good. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's like one of those surprising Bigfoot movies. I was like, damn, this is actually not too bad. The acting's good, the monster was great. And then there was another one called Primal Rage, which was sort of like a cross between like Native American stories and the Predator. So it was like a Predator-esque type of Bigfoot. That was pretty cool as well. I was like, damn, that's actually not bad for a low-budget movie. Definitely recommend checking them out if you're into that type of shit, guys. And then I watched a couple of stinkers as well. Like I watched another one called like Yeti, which was like one of those B-grade horror movies with a CGI monster for some. Like there was a dude in a costume for a lot of it, but the whole story didn't make sense to begin with because it was like an American college football team for some reason crashed in the Andes, and it was just like, wait, what? Why is an American like college football team flying to Japan over the Andes? That makes no sense. It's like, if they're flying to Japan from America, wouldn't they be flying across the Pacific Ocean? Like, wouldn't that make a lot more sense than flying over the Andes? As far as I can tell, no planes fly over the Andes, because if they were to crash, there would be no way of like finding those people because they're crashed in like mountain peaks and stuff. It is unhealthy but so good. Like, you just feel better playing, reading, watching that way. Fair enough. Like, I know what you're talking about. Like, I'm like that as well when it comes to certain things. It's 100 million times better if your favorite character is popping off. Alright, we've got 15 minutes left. See if we can still get ourselves another shiny. Like I said, we'll evolve one of these guys at the start. At the end, rather, not the start. Still can't believe that we got that with the first click of the stream. It's just very fitting with the amount that I've encountered up to that point. Like, I even said it on the tweet that I tweeted out before going live. It's just like, This thing has eluded me for years, but tonight is the night. And then the very first click, it's just like, there you go, you can have one. No, I've been wanting to actually get into watching some Dragon Ball Super, because I haven't watched Dragon Ball in a long time. I probably haven't watched Dragon Ball, like I've watched the movies, but I haven't watched the actual series since I was probably in like year 7 or year 8 sort of thing. So it's been, like a good 20 years. But yeah, I've watched like Battle of the Gods and stuff like that, like the newer movies that have been released since they started to do the reboot, or decided to do the reboot. What is this, buddy? Need a tissue. See, now these are being easy to catch. They're giving me issues before. You guys have gone very quiet all of a sudden. Why? What did I say? Made you go quiet. I'm sorry. The most Danganronpa hit me was when dude were turned into butter. You know why, but that just hit you so much different. Made you feel different type of sick. Compressing someone into butter. Just okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Good old butter. There's what was the series called? Oh my god, what was the series called? I can't remember now off the top of my head. It was Dragon something. It's on Netflix. It was only a short series, but it was... now, what was the name of it? Oh my god. I think it was like Dragon Dogma or something like that, if I remember off the top of my head. But basically that was about a dude trying to track down and kill a dragon because it killed his family, sort of thing. And that's actually pretty good. It's a short series. It's only like 8 episodes long or something like that, but that was a good series. Each episode is based on the 7 deadly sins. So you've got like gluttony, greed, lust, etc., etc. But each episode is sort of based around that, that was a good series. The piano one. I take it you're talking to I almost said Negan, to Emma. No, not Dragon Ball. At no point... I was just talking about Dragon Ball before, and I said that I haven't seen it in and you're like, Dragon Ball? No, it was like a Dragon Dogma, I'm pretty sure is the name of it. Off the top of my head. Like, it's a Netflix series. And last time I checked, Dragon Ball wasn't based on the 7 deadly sins. Goku is lusting over Frieza. That's literally your backstory, what the 7 deadly sins. Katie, my dear child. You're still sad that one of the protagonists is meant to be untouchable, You're my little child. You couldn't bring yourself to finish V3 because of that. You will during the summer. Well, you just said the name of the... You're trying to say Dragon Ball, and as I was saying, you know, the name, each episode of that series that I was talking about is sort of based around one of the 7 deadly sins, and lust is one of the 7 deadly sins. I was, you know, Goku's full lust and over Frieza. That's what his spirit ball about. There's heaps of... Most anime that has some sort of... that isn't sort of, you know, slice of life or romance or something like that, if it's any sort of drama, usually the main character... I mean, even in Dragon Ball Z, I mean, how many times does Goku end up dying in Dragon Ball Z? Ah, my bag is full. Alright, so we got 8 minutes left. See if we can get ourselves another shiny boy. Looks like there is an Apom nest here as well. So might as well check these. Guys, try not to talk about like anime series that I said that I haven't seen and like ruin it by saying certain things like, oh, this character dies and blah blah blah, because it's like, guys, I already told you that I haven't seen it. So like, try not to do the spoilers and stuff. Jimmy vibes. Ducks. Well, we were talking about ducks at the start of the stream. The duck squad seems to have evaporated. Like, what did happen to her? We had like 17, 18 people in here before, and now it's down to like nobody wanted to talk about wanted to talk about anime apparently. Sorry guys, I didn't know that. You still have 7 2K eggs, event eggs. Did you end up having any shinies from the eggs, Jesse? I didn't hatch any eggs during the event. Like I said before, I'm not an egg hatching person. In the game, I just don't like spending money to try and get shinies. Like, raids are one thing. Like, I don't mind doing raids because, you know, I do them with you guys. But the eggs, I think it's just because you have to walk distance. And I'm like, I can't be bothered doing that. Are you trying to catch Shelders to get your Stardust? Hitting a year this... Hey, Chom, how you doing, dude? Good to see you. I'm guessing you mean a year of membership. Damn, it's been a year already. That went past really quickly. But nice, dude. Thank you. Thank you for the year's worth of support. Much appreciated. No shinies from eggs. Yeah, eggs. Sorry, egg shiny luck is terrible. I don't know. I have okay shiny luck when it comes to eggs. Like when I do hatch them, if it's during an event or something, I can usually get a shiny or two. But yeah, I don't like the distance that you have to walk to do them, and then just buying incubators and stuff like that. I've never been a big fan of buying the incubators, especially since in the main series games you can hatch them for free, sort of thing. So paying for it has never been high on my list of things. Yeah, the half hatch distance is usually good. How was my Easter? It was good. Just stayed at home because it was wet. You guys that live in Melbourne know that it was just cold and wet over the weekend, so didn't really do much. Sat around, watched the footy. My grandfather's down at the moment, so did Easter dinner on Sunday night. My sister and nephew and that came over, so yeah, just did the typical Easter thing. How did you guys go during your Easter? How much chalky did you guys demolish over the weekend? No cooking with Jimmy members only streams. It's difficult for me to do streams like that though. Like, one, it's not quiet at my house, so it's difficult to do a stream like that in the kitchen. And yeah, I don't have the equipment sort of set up in the kitchen or anything, so it'd be a pain in the ass to do that sort of stuff. Sorry, James, what's Ricklicious? I'm guessing you mean ridiculous. Like, you've just confused me. Like, what? You mean Scarlet and Violet shinies, literally free shinies? Yeah, any main series game though. They've made the shinies a lot easier to get. Since Pokemon Go has made shinies easy to get, even the main series games have gone that way. I mean, it was the same in Sword and Shield. They were a lot easier to get than previous games. But yeah, Scarlet and Violet are just stupidly easy to get. You're currently tagging up Pokemon in preparation for Spotlight. Oh, for the transfers. 5 kilos, it felt like. Wait, 5 kilos of Pokemon or 5 kilos of chocolate? Truly a sad fate. Guys, if I can grow the channel enough that I can, make enough money off of it and I can get my own place, then I will be able to start doing like cooking streams and stuff like that with you guys. You guys have to support the channel. Give me more money. No, I'm joking. But I'm not. But I am. No, we just need to grow the community more, sort of thing. But as you guys have seen with the recent stuff that Niantic to the game, that's probably going to be something that isn't really going to happen too much anymore, because I feel like the game is going to die off significantly once the online stuff sort of dies off a bit because of Niantic's stupid decision. So we're going to have to start branching out. Oh, there's a spider. Oh, no, dude, don't. You little... A spider fool just crawled into the handle of my car. Great. Great. I have a spider living in the handle of my door in the car. That's just fantastic. That's exactly what I want. Cooking with Jimmy will happen one day, and you'll be here for it. I cooked earlier today. No, I did dinner stuff then. Yu-Gi-Oh! I was never into Yu-Gi-Oh! It was on back when I was a kid. It was one of the shows that was on the thing that I used to watch, like the morning cartoon show where Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and all that sort of stuff was on. But I just never watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Archer is good. Yeah, Archer's good, but that's not an anime. It's an animated series. It's just not an anime. Although there are some tasty looking Pokemon. Yeah, like, what is it? No, Swirlix. I mean, I suppose Swirlix is one of them. Uh, Vanillish. That's what I'm thinking of. It's basically just an ice cream cone. Blue eyes wide. Yeah, I know what that is just because of, the card and all that sort of stuff and seeing it all over the internet. But like I said, I've never been into Yu-Gi-Oh myself. You didn't get a shiny Negan? Damn. I am so happy that I ended up getting. If you missed it, guys, we started off the stream, very first click. Yeah, yeah. I should have probably transferred some of those ohos during the Spotlight Hour. For those double candies, that probably would have been handy. Same with Lytton. Probably should have got rid of some of them. And some of the Thunderous. And some of the Poplio. And there was probably a lot of things. I didn't realize that it was double transfer candy until I was getting ready for the stream, though, so I didn't have time to go through and... Oh my god, seriously, where is it? There we go. Yeah, for those that missed it, our very first click of the stream was a shiny. So I ended up getting a shiny Shellder, which I've been hunting for like ever. It took me nearly 900 encounters to finally get a shiny Shellder of my own. Can I stream? But I do have Scarlet. I was streaming it, streaming through the story. I still haven't finished that game, honestly. I don't know. I just lost interest in it because it was so much the same as like any other Pokemon main series game that I didn't like lose interest in it. I just felt like people were losing interest in it, so I just didn't really, because it was still had a lot of issues at that point when I was streaming it. Like there was a lot of the dumb issues that the game was having just because they brushed it out. So I sort of just stopped playing it. But I should get back into doing it. Like I said, I got to get into streaming other stuff on the channel because Pokemon Go is sort of dying. So maybe getting back into that. There's some other games that I want to stream as well. Like I've always wanted to stream Breath of the Wild. Like it was the game that I originally made me want to get my Switch, and I still actually haven't finished it. That was another game. It's just because it was so long, and it was like one of those games that if you really wanted to spend like a long time playing through it and getting like all of it, it was going to take you forever. So I never actually ended up finishing it. I'm almost up to Ganon. I think I have like one more of the beasts to unlock, sort of thing, and then I can battle Ganon. Like I can't even remember where I'm up to. You've seen the Bulbasaur one too. Wait, what are you talking about? Now you've lost. Wait, what? Have you seen animation of a Chikorita being prepared to be eaten, cute and disturbing? No. Okay, so that's what you're talking about. No. No, I have not seen those. The romance anime you enjoy the most is Komi the manga, Shikimuru, Amari, rather, Muri, Given, Asagio, oh my god, okay. I don't know any of these. I know My Dress Up Darling because that was, such a popular one. But I don't know any of these other ones. Like I said, I'm not into that whole genre of anime. So I don't know any of them. Sorry. You love the manga, you haven't seen the anime. You guys are just talking about stuff that's... How can I contribute to this conversation if I don't know what you guys are talking about? Talk about better animes, come on. Jimmy, it's not the same. Trust me, the story is amazing. Jimmy. Okay. I will take your word from it. Like I said, I'm still not into those types of anime. Give us an uwu. Uwu. You filthy animals. For those who don't know, that is a line from, what is it? Home Alone? Yeah. Not uwu, just, yeah. Can you imagine that? Uwu, you filthy animals.
Let's talk about. I haven't seen it, so I can't talk about it. I told you before that it's a series that I haven't seen. I can talk about JoJo because, like I said, I've almost finished watching that one. What have I seen? I don't know. A lot. I guess a lot. I haven't watched a lot of stuff recently. Um, but I told you guys before, like Evangelion and Ghost in the Shell and JoJo and what are some other ones that I've seen? Gans, obviously. Other anime series, Dragon Ball Z. um, just trying to think, what are some of the other series that I've watched? Like the less iconic, like well-known ones, because I've just been, talking about all the obvious ones. Death Note, that's another one. A lot of these ones that I can't really remember because that was a while ago, sort of thing. Good old Kid Buu. Wasn't he awesome? The biggest menace of Dragon Ball Z. Give us some conspiracy theories. We all live in a simulation. This world isn't real. We really live in the Matrix. Is that a good enough conspiracy theory for you? Aliens abducted my dog. Is that the Big Lair show? Honestly, I haven't really watched a lot of that. Like I watched a bit of it back when it was it first came out, but it just never really got into it. Like it was funny, but the Earth is a donut. Yeah, Hollow Earth, flat Earth. The Earth is really the center of the universe. Crab people, mole people, people. What are some other conspiracy theories? Dogs and cats really work together in cahoots to keep humans like not subjective. What's the word I'm looking for? Subjugated. That's the word I knew it was something. Dogs and cats really rule the world, and they're intelligent species. We're the dumb ones because we're the ones that pick up their poo and just feed them, and they don't have to go to work or anything like that. We slave ourselves to the bones to make sure that the animals get fed. Lizard people, exactly. Every politician or world leader and like the queen and all that sort of stuff, they're really lizard people. Your cat wouldn't eat you. Yeah, they would. Haven't you seen those old ladies that have like 1,000,000 cats that end up dying and their cats like full eat them? That's a thing. Your cats will eat you. Cats don't give a hell. It's like you care for your cats. Your cats don't necessarily care for you. They just get fed by you, and cats are like the most. Yeah, they're evil little buggers. King Charles is 666. That's giving him way too much credit. Like calling Prince Charles or Donald Trump or any of those people the Antichrist is just wrong because they're too stupid to be the Antichrist. Like if there wasn't, honestly, if there was a true Antichrist, Kenneth Copeland is probably closer to that than anybody else. Is that evangelical preacher in the US? Like he's warped. He does some stuff, and he cares about taking money from stupid people to grow his empire and base it all around religion. And he's a one hell of a dude. Look up some of the stuff of him on like YouTube about like how evil he actually is, and you'll be like, damn. And he disguises himself as like a preacher and a man of God and all that sort of stuff. But basically, he just preys on the stupidity of some religious people, like how stupidity is probably the wrong, like the naivety of a lot of people and the gullibility, how gullible some people are and how much they'll just give to the church. I shouldn't be getting into it because, politics and religion and all that sort of stuff isn't really good things to talk about on chat. But yeah, it's. Hey, Cheese Bro, how you doing? Oh my god, it's changing. There's docos on Charles being 666. No. Like I said, he's too stupid to. And docos, like, basically, they make docos about anything these days because people will watch them, so. Time travelers are real people. Nah, there's a lot of stuff. Like, if you watch any sort of scientific stuff, the problem with time travel is it creates too many paradoxes, because any reason why you would create time travel, like, for instance, I was watching something recently that was about, like, the paradoxes of time travel and that, and they're talking about, like, basically, if you invented time travel so you could go back and kill Hitler before he started World War II and all that sort of stuff, you could go back and kill Hitler, but then it creates a paradox just because you invented time travel so you could go and do that, but then you went back and killed him, so the need for you to invent time travel doesn't exist in the first place. So you wouldn't have invented the time machine to actually go back and do that sort of stuff. So, and it's the same thing as, like, if you went back and killed your own grandfather, like the whole grandfather paradox is like one of the original time traveling things. It's just like, if you went back and killed your own grandfather, you wouldn't exist, so you wouldn't be able to travel back in time and kill your own grandfather, sort of thing. So it's just like, and that sort of thing, it extends out into, you create time travel for a certain reason, you go back and fix that reason of why you invented time travel, and then you therefore don't have to invent time travel, so you never came. So it just creates a paradox. So anything that you try to do with time travel just creates paradox. So time traveling isn't something that's very feasible just because of the paradoxes that it creates. You mean it is possible to, yeah, like, traveling to the future is one thing, traveling back in time is another thing. Like, anytime you travel close to the speed of light, time does slow down. So basically, if you were to travel at the speed of light and then circle the Earth a couple of times and then come back, everybody on Earth would have aged, but you don't, because time changes as you're traveling faster. Like, the closer you travel to the speed of light, the more time slows down. Going back in time is a different, so you can constantly travel into the, like, future, and we travel into the future every day, but traveling back in time is time is a very unique thing, because, I mean, basically our concept, like, we're getting into, like, full sciencey speak here, guys. Time is a concept that was created by humans to explain why things happen, why the decay of things happens, why the momentum of things happen. Because if there wasn't for time, everything would be stationary. So there has to be a progression of time for things to happen. But saying that time doesn't actually exist is in space terms, because space doesn't know what time is. Space just does, time and relativity and, space time and all that. Like, it just does what it does. It doesn't have a concept of time. Time is a concept that we've constructed. So technically, time doesn't exist, but it does exist to us because we're humans and we need a way of describing why things happen. So yeah, it's a different, like, I'm not smart enough to go into, like, the complexities of that argument and stuff like that, but a lot of scientists, very smart people, theoretical scientists and physics and quantum science and all that sort of stuff, talk about how time doesn't actually exist as a universal thing. Wait, your favorite is Ding Bing. Wait, what? Now you've lost me. So I'm too busy talking about time here, and you're going on about what? There's a show. Yeah, I know, Umbrella Academy. I haven't watched it, but again, that's a TV show. It isn't real. It isn't reality. So people can jump backwards and forwards through time in TV shows because they're made up. But in like reality, it's one of those things. Like if you break it down in a scientific way of thinking, it's just like, yes, you can travel forward in time because traveling forward in time is basically what we do every second we're alive. We're basically traveling forward into time. Like right now, I'm talking about this stuff, we're traveling forward into time. So that's the linear motion of time, because time moves in one direction. It doesn't move backwards, it moves forward, sort of thing. But traveling back in time, you can't undecay things that have happened. You can't, yeah, like I said, I'm not smart enough to break this down into the way that the theoretical scientists and all that sort of stuff talk about it. But you can't go backwards because you can't undo how things break down. You can't go back and make a cell, for instance. A cell will split into two cells. Like that's how cells multiply. They constantly split. One will split into two, two will split into four, four will split into eight, and that's how cells multiply. You can't unsplit a cell. You can't make a cell go from 8 to 4 to 4 to 2 to 2 to 1, sort of thing. So there's no way of undoing the progression of time, sort of thing. Like time travel is a cool scientific thing, like not scientific, a cool science fiction story, sort of thing, but there's no actual way of going backwards in time. If people would make a railroad around Earth and the train would go extremely fast speeds, you would go into the future. It would be a few seconds for you, the people outside. That's like I said before, if you travel at the speed, like the closer you travel to the speed of light, the slower time travels. So yes, like they've already proved that that's a true thing just because of rockets that they've sent into space that have atomic clocks on them. If you have a rocket that's going around the planet, or a satellite or something that's rotating around the planet with an atomic clock, it's going faster than what we're going down here on Earth. So they've measured it. They've put atomic clocks on, I don't even think it was that. I think it was just on a plane. For instance, like an atomic clock that's on a plane and an atomic clock that's on the ground, the atomic clock that is on the plane will always end up a few milliseconds ahead. Like not even milliseconds, because it's not going that fast, but because it's going faster than we are, the atomic clock is on the ground, the time will actually go forward, sort of thing. So it'll be 0.2% of a time, like a second, I should say, ahead of the atomic clock that's on the ground. And that's our most accurate way of measuring time through atomic clocks, because it measures the decay of certain radio isotopes and stuff like that. It's not actually a clock. It's our most accurate way of, basically what I was saying before, of measuring time is through the decay. Like what our time is the decay of stuff, and the decay of radioactive isotopes is our most accurate because they are a constant, sort of thing. So they'll always decay at an exact rate, sort of thing. So you use certain radioisotopes and you can put them on an atomic clock that's on a plane and put them on one on the ground, and you'll see that they decay at different rates because something is moving faster than. It's complex, I know, but it's yeah. You should clause is so sick. Wait, what? You've watched UA new season, it's kind of whack. I don't know what you're talking about. The universe as we know it just wants the speed of is just what up the speed of light has allowed us to see. There's probably so much more than just we'll never see it. Well, we know that light has to be the fastest thing in the universe. I need to turn my clock off, not clock, torch. I'm just talking about time. So, light is the fastest thing in the universe because light has to be the fastest thing. Nothing can be faster than the speed of light. Even though they've theorized that when it comes to quantum, like entanglement, that's when things are faster than the speed of light. This is getting into complex things, because with quantum entanglement, it basically means that two particles are entangled with each other. It doesn't matter how far they are apart in the universe. You could have one here in our solar system and you could have another
quantum entangled particle in, say, the Andromeda galaxy, which is like 100,000, 100 million light years or something from Earth. I don't remember the exact distance, but basically they will interact at the same time because they're quantumly entangled with each other. So basically that is faster than the speed of light, but we don't know what quantum entanglement really means and why things that are quantum entangled will do that sort of thing. So you are right by saying that there are other things out there in the universe, which we probably won't know because we're probably going to destroy ourselves before we get the chance to figure this stuff out. But light is, from what we know, from what we can understand, light is the fastest thing in the universe. Wormholes, and you don't mean... Yeah, I say again, with black holes and wormholes and stuff like that, we can only theorize because we just don't know, because we can't send something through an event horizon. So there's theories of, you send something through a wormhole and it's basically a shortcut to another point in the universe. There's a white hole on the opposite side of a black hole sort of thing, because there's matter that goes into a black hole and then it comes out on the other side. But what we do know about black holes is they imprint every bit of data that goes into them. So everything that a black hole consumes, it keeps that data inside of it. And basically, as the black hole decays, that data gets back out into the universe sort of thing. So nothing is ever truly destroyed when it goes into it. It's just held stationary for however long the black hole exists, and then slowly that, I can't explain it because I don't know the exact word. I can't remember the exact wording for it. But basically, as a black hole decays, anything that it has fallen into it, not the matter or any of that sort of stuff comes back out of it. Like, that stuff is consumed by the black hole, but the actual data of what fell into that black hole will always exist. There's no way of actually destroying that 100%. So it's a difficult thing to sort of wrap your head around, that everything that's ever existed still exists in some form. I mean, it just shows you, like, energy doesn't, what's the saying? It's like, energy doesn't die, it just changes form. And that's the perfect example of it. I mean, and how we go about it is like, a tree grows, fruit grows on the tree. Like, the energy that comes out of the soil that the tree uses to create an apple grows an apple. The apple falls out of the tree. We eat the apple. We consume that energy. We shit. That goes back into the ground. The trees use that to grow more apples. So there's always a constant recycling of the energy, and that's basically how our universe works. Energy is forever. It just changes form and just goes through different forms of existence, basically. Jimmy playing Pokemon Go while talking about time travel and physics and what's that? Transmutation. I can't think of the words off the top of my head. Warp speed. Are you going to head out? No worries, Del Sandu. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Have a good night. I'm going to wrap it up soon as well, because we're just talking about random stuff at this point. Random sciencey stuff. That's something that we can do. Science with Jimmy. Amateur science with Jimmy. We'll do like cooking streams, and we'll talk about quantum physics and stuff like that as we're cooking spaghetti or something. Won't that be interesting? I just write down a whole bunch of stuff. Watch some interesting stuff on the internet and then write it down and then regurgitate that stuff to you guys as we're cooking food or something. Science cooking with Jimmy. Science is interesting, but yeah. It's hard to wrap your head around some things. I mean, that's why even the smartest people in our world that come up with these things, that's why it's called theoretical physics and stuff like that, just because there's no way of actually proving any of this stuff. We only have theories about how certain things work, just because we don't have the math to figure it out. We don't have the comprehension to be able to wrap our brains around some of the complexities of how things interact. Perfect example of that is, if you guys know the experiment, like Schrodinger's cat. Basically, you can put a cat in a box with a hammer, basically, that's going to destroy a vial of poison that'll kill the cat once it's, broken, sort of thing. That can happen, but until that cat is observed, it's both dead and alive at the same time, because a lot of things, I can't remember which particle it is. Is it the Higgs boson? I think it might be the Higgs boson, but don't quote me on that. It's one of the basically, we can't. What's the best way of putting it? There are certain particles that only show. Okay, best way of putting it is light. A photon that comes out of light is both a particle and a wave, but it exists in both states, even though it shouldn't. It should either be a particle or a wave, but it turns into one as we observe it. So it'll be one when it's not observed, and it'll be the other once it's observed. So basically, there are particles in our universe that'll change what they actually are, whether they're being observed or not. So the whole Schrodinger's cat thing is just like, there's a cat in a box and it's both dead and alive at the same time because it's been unobserved. And basically that's what these particles are. They're both photons and waves until they are observed. Once they are observed, they turn into a wave particle, just a particle, where they should be, I don't know. It's hard without knowing the exact stuff behind it, but it's a definitely confusing thing. Isn't the observable universe dictated by the speed of light? Is there stuff outside? Yes. So we can only see so far into the universe because that's how light has traveled. So basically, our universe, they theorize, is like 13 billion years old. So we can see things as far back as, say, that, because we've had light travel to us from 13 billion years across the observable universe, and that's what we can see. But there is stuff that's going to be on the outside of that we will never see, just because the universe is expanding, and as the universe expands, that light still has to travel further and further and further and further and further. So there's no so much edge of the universe that we know of, but there is an edge of the observable universe, and it's just because light has to travel too far to us, and it just hasn't done that yet, so we can't see that far. And basically that's when they're talking about how the universe will end. There's a couple of big theories. Either there's the big crunch, where everything, as that it's expanding, will crunch back in on itself, create a new singularity, and then bounce back out and create a new universe. There's the big rip, which is basically everything will expand that far that it will just rip all matter apart and basically just destroy the universe. Or there's the big freeze, which is basically the universe will just keep expanding and keep expanding and keep expanding and keep expanding to the point where no light will be able to travel through the universe anymore. Everything will be too far away that everything that we see will be too far, like we won't be able to see it anymore just because it's too far away from us. So because the universe is expanding faster than it did during the Big Bang. Like, it expanded out to a certain point, but the expansion of the universe is actually accelerating, which goes against any comprehension that we have of how stuff like that works, because things theoretically should be slowing down, because it's come from a single point, gone bang, and as things travel further and further and out and more time passes, things should slow down. That's how an explosion works. That's how, anything that we understand works. But the expansion of the universe is actually speeding up, and they think that's what dark energy and dark matter and all that, well, not so much dark matter, but dark energy is. It's dictating the expansion of the universe being faster than what it should be. So they're talking about things will travel that far apart, and there's basically, that means that at some point in the distant, something like another 20 billion years or something like that, that the universe will just basically peter out and die, because all matter will end up burning itself out, and the only things that will exist after that are certain particles. No matter will exist anymore. And going on a big ramble here. But this is stuff that this is stuff that I watch and I'm interested in. And voting for the big freeze. You like crunch bars. You'd be looking like Megamind if we carried all the information. Yeah, we'll never understand the universe, like everything about the universe, because you can't. You just can't understand everything about the universe, because we are the universe. Basically, we are a human representation of the a human is the wrong way of putting it. We are a physical manifestation of the universe trying to understand ourselves, because we are the universe. We're created from the same stuff that the universe is created from. So our brains are basically part of the universe that is trying to figure out what it is. We're a part of that same universe. We're part of the same machine. We're just a conscious form of this machine that is trying to figure itself out. So we can never understand what ourselves are completely just because we're part of that machine. We'd have to be an outside observer to be able to understand, because we'd have to be able to see everything as a whole, which we just can't. At least with the crunch, we'll know it's coming. For certain ones, every celestial body begins phase shifting back to us. I don't think we're going to be around by the time this stuff happens, so I don't think it's anything that we really need to worry about. Like, look at the rate that we're killing ourselves off and stuff like that. Like, look how warmongering and egotistical and everything, like everything that represents the human race, it's just like there's no way known we're going to be around in billions and billions of years' time to witness any of this stuff. So it's stuff that we don't really need to worry about. It's just stuff that we can predict. Well, not so much predict, but it's just stuff that we can guesstimate that is going to happen, sort of thing. Because there's going to be no way that we're actually going to see it. It's fun, but kind of scary. Yeah. It wasn't until I got in, like, I used to be a very happy child that just used to think, everything lives forever, and, you write your name in stone, like, you want to be famous or something like that just because you'll be remembered forever and you go down in the history books and all that sort of stuff. But it wasn't until I got older and I started watching a lot of this sort of stuff that my existential crisis has started to kick in. And I was just like, I became very nihilistic, because I'm like, it doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter what I accomplish, it's all going to die away at some point. Like, once the universe dies, there's going to be no record of anything that we've ever done that's ever left behind, sort of thing. So it's just like, what's the point of doing anything if we're just going to, what's the point? So that's the whole nihilistic sort of approach to the world and the universe. It's like, there's no point trying to accomplish anything, just because what's the point? The universe is going to end. Everything's going to be erased. But that's a very, like I said, nihilistic way of thinking about everything. Are you going to go? It's too... No worries, Omega. Thank you for sitting around and listening to me ramble on about this crazy stuff. Enjoy your night. Have a good night. The sun will die out, so that would freeze us. Not so much. We're in the point of the sun will expand before it dies out. So any of the inner rocky planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, they'll all be consumed by the expanding sun before it dies out, sort of thing. So once the sun stops burning, like helium is the last of the gases, or the last of the elements, I should say, that it'll be burning before it gets to iron. Once it gets to iron, oh no, is it carbon? No, iron. Iron, yeah, because iron is the heaviest element. So once it starts burning iron, like trying to fuse iron atoms, it starts losing energy. Like anything up until that point creates energy. Once it gets to iron, it starts losing energy. And once it starts losing energy, then the sun will start expanding. Once the sun starts expanding, all the inner rocky planets will just be consumed by the expanding layers of the sun. And so Earth isn't going to be here before that point anyway. And then our sun isn't big enough to go supernova or anything. So basically, it's just going to crush into a white dwarf. So the sun will just keep burning for billions and billions of years, but just as a white dwarf that will slowly peter out, sort of thing. So it'll be a slow death of our sun. That's when the rest of the solar system will freeze, but the inner planets will be long gone by then. So if we're still around by that, because that's still not going to happen for like another, I think it's like 16 billion years or something like that. So if we're still around at that point, I'm sure we would have figured out a way of colonizing other solar systems and that, and we'll be able to just go and live in the other solar systems. But it's 16 billion years from now, so I don't think it's something that we need to worry about too much right now. Jimmy's TED Talk. Yeah, okay, I'll stop talking. Thank you for reminding me. just like, could you just shut up about science and stuff and just hurry up and evolve one of your bloody Shellders? Not here to learn about all this stuff. I just want you to, I just want to see it. That's a really bad mindset. You mean, yeah, it's true. But to be honest, you just want to have the most fun and accomplish your goals of helping people. For me, that's a life worth living. Yeah, I'm more so that these days. But when you first start realizing this stuff, it does cause at least for me, it just caused those existential dread that it's just like, what's the point? Just because, you know, things are going to die anyway. What's the point of trying to accomplish anything? Our sun isn't as enthusiastic. No, it's only the bigger stars that end up going supernova and hypernova. We've got a fairly small sun. And by small, I mean, it's still this massive object in the sky. Like, it's a big thing, but in comparison to, like, if you've looked at the scale of some stars and stuff like that, like, I think it's Betelgeuse is the biggest sun that we know of, which is like 1,000,000 times bigger than our sun. You could fit 1,000,000 of our suns into Betelgeuse or something. That's like a blue giant. I think it's actually more than that. I think it's like 10 million of our, or 100 million of our sun or something like that into it, which is just, can you imagine a sun that big where 100 million of our suns could fit into it? Like those suns, they're the ones that go supernova and hypernova and stuff like that, just because there's so much mass there. And when they implode in on themselves, it's just, there's so much energy. But most suns in the solar system will either turn into red or white dwarfs, depending on what class of star they are. I mean, you had that mindset too. Just recently, you decided that you want to just help it. Yeah. You get over it. Once you learn that there's nothing that you can really do about it, and you get over that existential stuff about what's the point, you realize it's when you think about that sort of stuff that you're just like, yeah, okay, that stuff's going to happen, but yeah, it's not going to happen for billions of years. I can't just sit around and sulk about that stuff, because there are still people that care about me now, and there's still things that I can accomplish now. Even if they don't exist forever, they'll exist in, you know, our time. They'll exist in at least, you hopefully want to be remembered in human history. So as long as humans exist, you can go down and, you know, I think it's just everybody's desire to wanting to be remembered. Like, everybody wants to be remembered, even if it's just by your ancestors and your family and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people don't care about being famous, or, you know, going down in the record books as being, you know, the first person that did this, or being remembered forever. It's like they just care about being remembered in general by, you know, family and all that sort of stuff. But everybody has that desire. And I think it's just, once you acknowledge that everything's going to end at some point, and there's going to be no record of anything, like, it doesn't matter what part of the universe you're in, it doesn't matter how advanced of a species you come from, anything that you've accomplished is going to, you know, turn into nothing at some point. It just makes you realize sometimes that it's just like, oh, what's the point? But yeah, you got to get over that. You got to realize that there's more to life. You can't live in that hole forever. Hey, Josh, good to see you, man. How you doing? I'm your favorite viewer, aren't I? You're all my favorite viewers. I have no favorite. It's like choosing favorite children. Like your favorite child. It's just like, I don't have a favorite. You guys are all my viewers. Plus, I haven't seen you for a while, so how you mean? I know you're only joking. But it's like one of those things. You can't say that. I mean, it's different for you guys, because you can be like, oh, you're my favorite streamer, or you're my favorite YouTuber, or something like that. But it's just like, I don't have every other YouTuber and that sitting next to me at the same time. So they're not all sitting here going, oh, I thought I was your favorite. But for me, it's like, you know, you're all special to me, because you're all my children in a way. That sounds bad, but you know what I'm talking about. Maybe crispy. Yes, first click of the stream. I couldn't believe it. As soon as I started up the stream, I was halfway through. I wonder if I'm going to get a shiny tonight. And the very first one that I clicked on popped up as a shiny. Mind you, that this is one of the ones that has been eluding me forever. It took me like nearly 900 encounters to finally get the shiny. So yeah, to get it from the very first click of the stream, that was great. I do have this one still as well. This is the one that I actually caught tonight. That one that I evolved was one that I got traded to me ages ago. So that one was technically my first one, but this was the first one that I actually caught myself. So it's my first actual shiny Shellder. If Misty7 went to your stream, he would be your favorite viewer. Not necessarily. You guys would still all be my favorite. You're going to go back to it. Well, it's at the very start of the stream, dude, so it's not hard to find. Literally happened in like the first 2 minutes of the stream. And unfortunately, I did get a stupid call while it was happening, which mucked up my internet. So as soon as that happened, I was halfway through catching it and the stream sort of dropped out and it froze on the screen, like in the catch screen. So I was just like, I can't even turn it into a short probably now without editing it because of the stupid like telemarketers trying to ring me. You have it in Scarlet and Violet? I don't have Shellder in like any of the other games, I don't think. You missed your Spotlight Hour, you just got home? Damn, dude. That sucks. Do you have a shiny Shellder already, or? You don't really go on YouTube much to that's all good. That's all good. You said all the years of me playing this game and you still don't have a shiny, and then you got it, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Just the luck of it. I was talking about, I don't have one of these, and then boom, it pops up like straight away. All the ducks have gone. Yes, they have. Oh no, wait, no, Dull. Wait, did Dull? Yeah, Dull left just before, I think. He was the last duck. The last of the Duck-Heekins. Oh, you have one from a few years back? Okay. At least you've got one, so that's all good. My favorite shiny is Charizard. Same as my favorite Pokemon. I'm simple. Makes it easy when you've got the same, like, if it's the same thing. I'm a Gen 1er. So I made my favorites from Gen 1 because that was the only generation that existed at that time. And I haven't changed. If anything, I'm loyal, okay? So I make my decisions and I stick with it. You haven't got this shiny yet? Well, fingers crossed you can get one during your Spotlight Hour. Hopefully you have the same luck that I did and get one, like, straight away. You gotta learn stupid chemistry now. That stuff is learning right now. Chemistry is good. Like, honestly, I enjoy chemistry. Like, biochemistry and stuff like that. Like, learning how different things can fit together and, like, molecules. And how certain things can basically be identical, just changing one chain in the molecule. Like, for instance, you change one carbon chain in a molecule and it can create like so many different things depending on what the molecule is. So chemistry is actually really interesting to me anyway. Like, I enjoy the science behind chemistry. If I was smarter, I would do chemistry. I wish I did chemistry back in the day because it's fun. Yours is Sylveon and shiny Tortwig. Shiny Tortwig reminds me of like the Australian basketball team's jersey. It's like the same colors, that green color. So the green and gold matches very well with like the Australian Boomers basketball jersey. Spent 700 plus hours trying to get one. Really, dude? Brilliant diamond, shiny pearl. That's dedication, I'll give it to you. 700 plus hours just for one shiny. Reminds me of my Snom streams trying to get that shiny. You gonna head off? No, yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the stream now anyway, guys, because I'm gonna go home and have something to eat. With 8 uncatchable shiny Starlies.
Don't you hate that? All right, take it easy, Diana. Thank you for tuning in. Like 3 weeks ago. Damn. Oh, like I said, at least you put like the dedication into it, dude. T-Pig, I can't trade with you guys because you need to be within 100 meters of me to trade. And I'm playing legitimately, so I don't have coordinates to give to you. And even if I did, I wouldn't, just because I don't trade spoofed stuff, sorry. So I'm just going to quickly check these guys to see if we can get another shiny. Maybe, and then I'm going to wrap up the stream, guys. What's for dinner? Spaghetti. Good old spaghetti. I'm just trying... Oh my god, I'm trying to click that... Oh no, go away. I'm not clicking... Dude, you're making this very difficult. I'm trying to click on... I cannot click on it. I am literally clicking on the heat more, but it keeps taking me to the Team Rocket stop for some reason. Why are you making this so difficult? Zoom out. Can I snipe him from this side? No. I hate these Team Rocket dudes. I can't. I literally... finally. Finally. It took me like 800 attempts to try and get that. Yeah, spaghetti's... My spaghetti, at least, is like... It's the bomb. So, good old classic spaghetti. You just had a snack. Nice. You give me a hundo. Dude, you can't trade hundos. So, there's no point trying to trade a hundo because it's not going to happen because the stats get re-rolled. So I don't really have an interest in a hundo trade, sorry, because they can't happen. Well, you can magically get a hundo out of a trade, but it's not going to happen. You can't just trade a hundo and it's going to stay a hundo, unfortunately. What is this one? Yeah, super bug. Yeah, we'll just skip that. And do these last checks. Oh no, we gotta check them. Alright guys. I'm gonna wrap this stream up, but I will be back tomorrow evening for raid hour. It is Landorus. I probably won't be doing a lot of raids myself because of the new price hike for the remote raids and all that sort of stuff, so I don't feel like giving Niantic a whole bunch of money just to do a certain amount of raids, but I'll still host raids for you guys. So if you guys are keen on doing them, be sure to head into tomorrow night's stream. Yeah, hit that notification button, a subscribe button if you haven't already, so you get a notification when I go live. And yeah, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, guys, on your way out if you haven't already, because it does also help out the streams. What are we sitting on? 15, that's not too bad. So yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Then yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow night for raid hour. I will, just you too. So yeah, have a good night, guys. Enjoy your morning, evening, noon, or night. Stay safe. Happy hunting. Hopefully you guys will get the shiny. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. Until then, peace out. Bye. Bye-bye.